Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to our channel. Today, I thought I'd get on here and talk about some of our favorite things, specifically 10 of our favorite things that we did for our wedding. Now, if you didn't know, we got married back in July and we have been crazy busy since then, and we loved everything that we did, and I just wanted to jump on here and share with you what some of our favorite things we did were. All right, so if you are planning a wedding or helping plan a wedding, getting married, there are a lot of different routes that you can take, and there are a lot of different people who are going to try to tell you what to do and how to do it. My best advice for all of that would have to be is to trust your people, trust your spouse, and really communicate what you want and what y'all's expectations are. Make sure you're both on the same page so that everything runs smoothly. You are a team, and this is your first team effort together. Now, we got engaged back in April 2023. It was a sweet moment. We were in Chattanooga for a concert, and he proposed to me on the Chattanooga Bridge, and I was so taken back, and I loved it so much. So we ended up picking our venue in August or September that same year because we knew we wanted to get married in June or July of 2024. Before I started teaching, I am a music teacher, and we all know that once school starts, it gets crazy, it gets hectic, and that was just what we decided to do. I ended up graduating college in May of 2024, so May was kind of out for graduation, so we were working with June and July, which are not cheap months to get married. There isn't really a great month to get married. There's going to be things everywhere about all kinds of things, conflicts with everyone. So it's just good to know what you and your spouse really want to do. All right, so the first thing that we really loved that we did was get an all-inclusive venue. We got married at a farm venue. It's called Finley Farmstead, and they were able to provide the food and the drinks, the decor, the DJ, a cake, and our flowers. And we got the venue for all day for 8 hours. And we invited about 100 people, and past 100 people, we paid for them separately, which was a little expensive, but in comparison, the venue costed around $11,000 with all of that being said and done, with our guest list and all of our accommodations, and we were so happy with it. And it really took a lot of the stress off of me and off of my husband because he was working full time and I was in school. So we didn't have a lot of time to sit there and plan every last detail of our wedding. We knew that we wanted a wedding to show our children and share with our family and celebrate with them, but we weren't very, picky about all of the little details. All we cared about was our marriage and sharing that day with everybody else. And the people at the venue really did a wonderful job. They made it look beautiful. We told them the colors and we wanted it to be kind of simple, and they took that and ran with it, and we couldn't have been happier with that. Especially with things like our food and our drinks. We didn't have to cater anything. We just told them what we wanted. They had options, and we loved that, and we got to try it. And they had dairy-free options and gluten-free options, and it was just amazing. Our decor, we didn't have to buy anything from petals for our flower girls to the table decor or anything like that. No chairs, no tables. We just showed up and it was all put together. Our DJ was great. We got to meet with him and talk with him a little bit before. Lost my train of thought. We got to meet him and talk with him a little bit before we went with the venue, and we really liked him and he did a great job. We made an Excel sheet with all the songs that we wanted, and he made it really easy, and he mixed it and did great things with it. We loved it. Our cake, which we'll get to in a second, but we love the fact that they offered to have vendors for cake, and they had 2 separate vendors so we could pick from each one or the other. And our flowers, we didn't have to worry about our flowers or boutonnieres or anything like that. They did all of the bouquets, they did the boutonnieres, they did the table flowers, they did the petals. It was great. So we loved the fact that we went with an all-inclusive venue. We thought about doing it on some property, but we didn't want to pay for a tent rental, chair rentals. It was just too much to plan. All right, so the second thing that we wanted to share with you is that we got a small dairy-free cake and a lot of cupcakes. And we love that we did that because my husband is actually dairy-free. He cannot have any dairy or his liver shuts down. It's called galactosemia. And we were very adamant about wanting a small cake so that we could enjoy that together and have that being dairy-free and having cupcakes for everybody else. That ended up being cheaper for us, so it took away some of the cost, and we were able to give a variety to our guests of what kind of cupcakes they wanted and what they liked, what they didn't like, and we had that dairy-free option. And our cake was so cute and so sweet, and we ended up taking it home, and she surprised us with a small dairy-free cake for our 1-year anniversary as well. That's actually sitting in our fridge. We are so excited to be able to share that with each other. All right, now the third thing we wanted to share is an indoor-outdoor venue. So we got married in July, which was really hot. It was like 98 degrees before the heat index, and I think it was in the hundreds after the heat. So our ceremony was outside in a covered barn. That way, if it rained or if it was sunny, we had shade and we were covered. We didn't have to worry about any of that. And our reception was inside a barn. It was a very beautiful barn, but goodness gracious, if it wasn't for that indoor reception area, we would have melted away, I feel. And we were just so thankful that we decided to go with the venue that had outdoors and indoors, so the guests could transition to something that was way more cooler and got some water. But we loved that fact, and being outside was great for our pictures. It was great to, see everybody and get to greet everyone, and going inside was just a great way to be in that community and show what was happening in a smaller setting. So if you can get an indoor-outdoor venue, I would highly suggest that, especially in our extremes. So in summer when it's really hot and winter when it's really cold, you're transitioning from cold to hot or hot to cold. So we would definitely suggest that. It turned out to be great, and they had fans there, so everybody was able to stay cool while we were having our our ceremony. And yeah, we didn't have to worry about rain or the heat too much, and it was great. We loved it. The fourth thing we did was we had a photographer come for our rehearsal dinner. So if you don't know, the rehearsal dinner is the night before your wedding, where you sit and practice and just be in communion and community with the people in your wedding, and they get to know each other a little bit before the big day. And we had a photographer come, and she did a wonderful job, and we were so happy with that. She got pictures of everything. Now, because we were at an inclusive venue, we didn't get to rehearse there the day before, but we were at a separate venue for the meal, which my mother-in-law got for us, and it was so sweet and it was so beautiful. Just getting to know everyone, watching everyone get to know each other and sharing memories and stories of my husband and I, it was so much fun, and we would not have asked for anything else. We also got some wonderful photos of our flower girls and our ring bearer with us, and I will forever be thankful for those, and just getting pictures with our parents and grandparents in that small setting before the crazy day, and getting to sit down and just be with everyone we love. So, speaking of photographers, for number 5, we got a photographer for 8 hours of our day. So from our ceremony to the end of our reception was 5 hours, which might not seem like enough time, but it was more than enough time for us. We just wanted something simple and sweet. It was also on a Sunday, so we wanted everybody to be able to go back home and get ready for school or work, whatever they had the next day. So we got a photographer for 8 hours. So she was there while we were getting ready, and she was there for the duration of our wedding. And she got all kinds of pictures. She did a wonderful job. She just captured everything that we wanted and more. We got great pictures of our guests, of ourselves, and just of our wedding party and the venue. We were in love with that. So having a wedding photographer there before you get married, like when you're getting ready and during your ceremony, that was just so sweet. And she was even there for our send-off, and she got pictures for that, and we loved it. I also did a lot of research for what kind of wedding photos we wanted, and picking out a photographer that was in our price range, and as well as just capturing people in the way that we would want to be captured and capturing our special day, and she did a great job. Our venue also had photographers that we could pick from, but I ended up going with someone outside of it just because of the way that she did the photos and the editing, and that's what I really wanted. So, at our wedding for number 6, my father actually officiated the wedding. So my father is a pastor, and he has been since I was a little girl. And my husband works on the weekends most of the time, and I work at a church. And our memberships are not at the churches that we have been going to. They're at separate churches. And we really wanted someone that knew us for our ceremony, and they offered to have somebody officiate for us, and so we decided to ask my father, which ended up being really sweet because he was able to pray over us, and he walked me down the aisle, and he was an integral part of our day, and it meant a whole lot more than I think it would have meant if it was somebody that we weren't as close to. And I'm incredibly blessed to be able to have had my father officiate our wedding. And it's something that we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. You know, the prayers that he prayed over us, the words and the wisdom that he spoke into us, we will carry that forever. And it meant so much, and it meant a whole lot more to us because of the relationship we both have with him. And it was just such a blessing to be able to have my father officiate our wedding. Along with officiating our wedding, we also got, for number 7, premarital counseling. Now, there's a lot of benefits to premarital counseling for the fact of getting to know your husband or your wife more, your spouse more, getting in contact with a pastor of some sort, and just talking through things with somebody that has more wisdom than you. And also, for your marriage license, you get a discount. What? We didn't know that until one of my other friends who got married in February told us that after we had gotten the premarital counseling. So we got a discount, a pretty good discount on our marriage license for doing premarital counseling, and you just have this little paper that they sign. But we learned a lot about our love languages, and we learned a lot about our family values and everything. It just helped us get in line with what we needed to be, where we needed to be spiritually, mentally, emotionally, for our wedding day to start our marriage in a successful way. And I'm so thankful that we did that, because we wouldn't have known how to get there beforehand. We needed someone to guide us there. And the pastor we did our premarital counseling with was so amazing. He had lots of wisdom to share, and We are just so thankful that we did that. And even now, we use the tactics and the strategies that we learned in premarital counseling for our marriage, especially when we have conflicts. And we're able to talk through things a lot better because of that. So, would definitely recommend premarital counseling for all of those benefits. So, number 8 on our list goes back to our wedding. We decided not to have alcohol there. And there are lots of reasons that went into this, but most of the reason why is because we didn't want to obtain a liquor license. We didn't want to have to pay for bartenders, transportation, and worrying about all of our guests getting home carefully. And it was just, we wanted everyone to be able to remember it in a nice, sober way, and it ended up being a great wedding. And my family likes to party, and they like to have a good drink or two, and after a few drinks they kind of start getting rambunctious. So we wanted it to stay calm but still fun, and we decided not to get any booze, and it saved us about $2,000 in total with no booze. And I'm so thankful that we did that. That way, we could have kids there and we could have adults there, and we didn't have to worry about anybody being drunk or saying the wrong thing or going crazy or needing a way to get home and not having that. Or sometimes in my family they like to fight. So that's why we just decided to have a dry wedding, and we love that. Instead of alcohol, we had Coca-Cola bottles, and we had a sticker that we put on for our wedding. It said like Mr. and Miss Cantrell 2024, and those were our party favors, as well as like a nice cold drink that people could get if they wanted, because we had tea and lemonade and water as well. And we were only able to do that because my husband works for Coke, and they were able to get us a pretty good deal for the glass Cokes through the company. So no alcohol for us, and we are so thankful that we were able to do it. Going back to before we got married, on number 9, we had joint bridal showers, because we were getting married together. So we wanted to celebrate everything that encompassed our wedding together, and that included our showers. So we had 2 showers, one for my side of the family and one for my husband's side of the family. And both parties were great, and I'm so thankful that we had each other there, because we both get a little socially awkward when we get overwhelmed. And we definitely were overwhelmed with the amount of people there and all the gifts, and just having your person there, your spouse there, really helps. And we were so thankful because I had not met some of his family before, like his extended family, and he had not met some of my extended family before. So having each other there to rely on and to lean on during that time was just amazing. And getting to share those memories with each other was amazing too. Some of the games that we played, it just threw everybody off when we were playing, like, is this the groom or is this the bride? And just listening and realizing that people might not know a relationship like they thought they did. And it was just a lot of fun, and I'm so thankful that we were able to share our showers with each other and spend that time together with our families. And number 10, last but not least, is we did private vows. So a lot of times for your ceremony, you will write custom vows to share with your spouse. And that is such a beautiful thing, but we were concerned about a few things. Number 1, it was really hot, and we didn't want our ceremony to be really long. And number 2, my husband especially gets nervous talking in front of people. So writing what he wanted to say down and presenting it to everybody was not really what he wanted to do. And we also didn't want to stand up in front of everybody for that long for our ceremony. It's just not what we wanted to do. We wanted to have a private moment with just us and telling each other why we loved each other and what we promised. And it was just us and our wedding photographer, and it was such a sweet moment because we were able to just have some time with just us on our wedding day, which you don't really get to have. And we're so thankful that we did that, and we're so glad we did that because it meant so much more that we were able to share those things with each other, and that we got it caught on camera. But you know, the things that we wrote down to share just meant so much because of the chaos of the day. We were able to just take that time to just be us and be with each other, and that just, it meant a lot. And we definitely cried and it was so sweet, and I'm so glad we did it. We didn't do a lot of things for our wedding. We didn't do a bachelor or bachelorette party, mostly because we were too busy, and the fact that we were buying a house and dealing with all that. And we didn't do we didn't do any of like the crazy things. We didn't have a videographer, and we didn't have like an all-night party or anything like that. We just tried to keep it simple and sweet because we were really focused on our marriage. And throughout all of your process of planning a wedding, if that's what you're doing, I would really just focus on the marriage. You want it to last, and make sure you're on the same page with your spouse. The wedding will be here and it will come and go, but your marriage will stay forever. And it's up to you to make sure that it is successful. We have so much to learn, and we learned every day. We still learn every day, but that is how we did our wedding. And again, there's a million ways to do it. This is just one of the ways, and the way we did it. And we wanted to share. So thank you guys so much. Hope you have a great day. Bye.